How's everybody today? It's Friday. It's very much Friday. We're going early. We're working on Planet Zoo today. It's Planet Zoo Friday. End of the week. Let's see. Yes, let's resume Streamland Park. Let's do that. So this is gonna be Sandbox mode, Streamland Park. This is the one that we've been working on stream for quite some time. This is the zoo that I'm spinning a random wheel that we are using to pick what we are building. So when we last spun the wheel, we got a snake, and I didn't want to do just one snake exhibit, or we got exhibit, and then I have a random Planet Zoo animal generator page I have saved, and when I clicked that, we got snake for exhibit animal, and I didn't want to do just one snake. That seemed silly. So last week, no, it wasn't last week. The last time we were together for Planet Zoo in this map, in Streamland Park, I was trying to build a snake cave to have people like walk through the fangs and see all the other snakes inside. Wasn't really quite working out for me. I couldn't get the shape anywhere near how I wanted and stuff, and I was getting really frustrated, so I was like, fuck it, we're gonna do something different. So so that's where we're at today. We're gonna be working on this and see what we can come up with. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop us into pause, and let's see, let's go to, I think we're under props. Yes, let's see what we have for pre-made fences, because I feel like we need some kind of wall or fencing or something. Worst comes to worst, we'll just go with our 3D printed walls here, but I kind of wanted something maybe a little bit shorter, at least in the front, and then maybe we can go taller in the back. That's possible. So we'll see what we've got here that might work with this setup. I mean, it's not terrible. I don't think we can adjust the color on it, though. I mean, that is very, very, very red and orange. We've got this. Now that's not terrible. It's not. It kind of goes with our colors here already, although we might be able to, I mean, we can adjust the colors on this one if need be. So I mean, that's a option. We've got this one. Now we can, I still have it on rotation snap, so that's why it's doing the green circle. We could maybe do some adjustments on that with the colors, maybe. We've got this guy. Classic fence limestone pillar. Okay, that's a little too bland. Well, this we can change the color on. Then we have the little meshies. I mean, the meshies aren't terrible. This feels a little too fancy. These are interesting, but we can't We can't change the color on them. I wish we could change the color of the metal on there. Like that would be nice. That'd be helpful. I mean, we've got this guy, but he feels a little too delicate. We've got this, and this isn't bad either, but it's kind of long. So now we can change the painted metal color here. I don't know. And this guy, he's just so long. Like if it was like the half piece there in the middle, I might be able to do something a little better with that. I mean, we do have this guy, and it's kind of airy. It's still kind of big, though. Though this is an option. It is an option. Alright, so say that, and I hear a little. Little's mowing. Alright, let's come into walls. And let's see, this was the... What's the matter, Little? We're in here. Stop scrunching up the puppy pad. So... We can change part of the color, it would seem. That's interesting. Alright, let me take this off. Off this. So I'm gonna see something here. So if I come up just a little bit more, I just want to barely be touching that back edge there. Or do I want to... I mean, we'd gone to all that trouble to frame that out. So, here's the thing, if we go like that, Or do we want to, like... See, that's the thing, I don't know. Like, if we go like that... I kind of want... I mean, we could kind of do something like that, maybe. I'm not entirely sure if that would work. Because we could do... I don't know if we need the curved piece, because I'm trying to figure out where we line this guy up, right? So... do we want to, like, do... I feel like the tunnel's interesting, but it's not wide enough. Like, we'd have to double that boy up, and that might be a little bit difficult. However, we might have to, like, start that. Maybe here? Okay, well, okay, bear with me here, 'cause I'm gonna try. It's like, no, that's too tall. I'm gonna try to get this to work. Oh, that's a different... No, it's a different color. Is that upside down? Okay. Well... No. Really? This is crazy. This still isn't the right... Well, maybe it is. No, see, the lines are different, but will it matter? Will it matter, though? Will it matter? No. See, I always do this. Let me try that again, because now it's not going to be lined up at all. So is everything okay, or? Did she have all the required documentation?
Uh-huh.
So what happens now?
Now we just have to wait for it to get adjusted. She might not get it this month because of how close it is to the month or something, but the month after she should get it.
Okay, so we're gonna do that there. I mean, this might not... See, like, there I can tell it's, like, not the right... bit, but, it's not lined up right. Like, the colors. But... that might not matter that much. In the end. You okay? You okay? Sweetie? You okay?
Yeah, just shit falling out of the fridge.
Okay. I heard a noise and then you weren't answering me. I thought I had to
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you.
I thought I had to quick jump up. I didn't know if you had been injured. Okay, so... like, I was toying with changing the colors, but... maybe... not. Oh, nope, cancel that. I don't know why that looks so funny. That looks like at a really strange angle there. Let's see if we can. After that fussing we did earlier. Don't know if we'll quite be able to get you lined up just so. Alright, that's not... okay, maybe that is terrible. Alright, that's not bad there. Here's another matter, though. So we're gonna have a gappy tail. So... do we... alright, you know what? let's just... We'll get our... corner back adjusted here. As best as we can. Okay, so we'll do that. Now, this. I don't know why that's deciding to choose violence. Why? Why are you choosing violence? Or is it just the shadows? No, you are all sorts of axis fighting here. What? What's your problem? No. You. No. Oh, really? That's the problem. Okay. It's the post. The post is the problem. Which means your axis fight. Axis. A-X-I-S. Axis. Not access. I know I'm not pronouncing those clearly. I apologize. Alright, you're happy. Which means you're a flickery. You're gonna be a flickery hoe. And that means that you're actually flickering, and I just didn't see it till now also. Nope, you're still being a flickery rat. Okay. One crisis down. Okay. Now, do we want to cap the top of this? Like we could. I mean, it's a little difficult because it's not double-sided. So like only one side's gonna have the design. So I mean that would be a slight issue. Issue, not at you. Sorry. Bonus points if you know what that's from. Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of like it there. I kind of do. Kind of, sort of. So, here's the thing. If I put you there... 4. Oh, well, except it doesn't, yeah, that's kind of what I thought it was gonna do. We lose the design on the other side, so cancel that. You alright?
Yeah, just mildly hurt. I'm gonna go try to cut down a few things.
You're already hurt your back, and you're gonna go try and hurt it more.
Yeah, I'm not gonna push it.
All right. I mean, I like it, but at the same time, it's kind of not gonna work. I mean, we could try to cap it with one of. Well, hold on. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Okay, so we can change the concrete color on here, right? Except that looks funny, so... reset that back to what it was. So, do we just, like... If we do that, right? If we do that, then we could, in theory, do that other piece. So what would I do here? Or would we just... Or we just duplicate it? Out like that. So if we did that, just trying to make sure there's a difference between like the shadows flickering and then like the wall pieces flickering. So we're just trying to figure out which is case here. Nope, 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 nope. It's a little better. Well, this guy does have like a straight up gap in there, but I don't think I'm gonna fuss it too hard, so let me Duplicate that again. Let's see if we can totally off. Because, you know, my depth perception is like non-existent. Or at least it seems to be most of the time. Okay, so if we do that. Trying to make sure we're still doing okay back in there. Alright, let me pop you on. So now, if we do this, do multi-select. So how's everybody doing today? Everybody doing alright? Of the flaws in our plan. Because if we drag this out this way, like, I can't add an extra here. That's gonna be too long and it's gonna fuck with everything. I wonder if let me leave you there for just a minute. I'm gonna duplicate you. But I want you to stand up, sir. I want you to stand up. That wasn't very long.
Oh, battery died.
On what?
Huh?
On what? Oh. Do you know where? Is
Died
that
while
this?
cutting down the big thing that's in the middle of that former doorway in the fence.
So, do you know where the battery charger is for that?
I think I do. I'm gonna find out in a minute.
Okay. So, I mean, we could, like, center that. Or try to. I suppose. if we... I know that's a flicker and mess. Hold on, one... Sacky sack. And then... Should make sure that we're not flickering anymore. Okay, so if we grab you and I slide you down to like
battery charging
here, right? Okay. We could, in theory, grab, oh, multi. So if I grab you two and just pull you forward there, right? I know there's a little bit of a gappy guy in the top, and that's okay. So we're gonna stick something up there. So I don't think it's gonna flicker. It faked me out, you. Didn't look like it was gonna. And then after we get it in here, alright, that's a bit more stable, so let's grab this guy again. And we'll duplicate you. Now the thing is, do I have you where you need to be for what I'm trying to do? I feel like you might be slightly off still. But maybe not. Alright, I know I'm gonna have to fix the flicker, but I also don't wanna... Oh shit. Well, that's a problem. Okay. So if we do it more like that, and then no, just no. Behave. like, I don't want the multi-select anymore. Didn't want to let go. Alright. So we'll do that. Okay. Now I want multi-select. Multi-select. Holy hell. Alright. And if I bump you forward, you're gonna come on at an angle. Of course you are, cause you are. Alright, let's see. Promise it might make sense eventually. Oh, all kinds of sirens. I apologize. I don't know what they are. I don't know if that's police or ambulance. Not sure. Okay, so we're gonna duplicate this guy. This guy. Alright, let's see. We can get some precision fine-tuning here. I don't know if we can. It's me. We're already handicapped to begin with. With just the fact that it's me trying to do fine-tuning. My hands are not the steadiest. Okay, that's not terrible. It's passable. I mean, we can probably work with that. Probably. Haven't decided what I'm doing up here yet. It might be planters, it might be lamps. It's gonna be something. We'll cap the top of this off with something. Haven't quite figured that part out just yet. Sorry, I've got my eyes itchy. Hold on. Felt like I had something like a little hair or a little animal hair or fuzz or something like in my eyelashes, and then that made my eyes itchy. I hate that feeling. And I can't really just blame the animals, because it could be like the most randomest little piece of fuzz that just went floating by in the air. It might not even necessarily be an animal fuzz. So, alright, so there's that. And then this guy can kind of if I take you to the end here, right? I'm gonna have a gappy. Is there a smaller? I don't think there's a smaller version of this, is there? What is this? Number one, what is this? What are you? North African plaster wall vent. Okay, so what were you? Wall decorations? Like Or were you like wall supports? Is there a smaller version of you? There might be, but I grabbed the longer one because that was what was going to fit on the building. But there could be a smaller version of this. And I could have just searched it. But I didn't want that specific one. Like, I wanted the family. Okay, so that's wall vent 1. Oh, wall vent 1 had holes. Okay, so that's the one that we're using. Wall vent 2. No. No, there's no... There's no small one. Everything's either too big or too small. Ah, for fuck's sake. Alright. What the fuck am I gonna shove in here? I need something. What? What the hell? I mean, we're gonna have our sign up here. So maybe we could shove in the odd one in the middle, right? I mean, that we could cover it, perhaps, and then it wouldn't look quite so out of place. Because nothing else I've got's really gonna fit here. I mean, this is just gonna be like blank. We're gonna... I mean, this isn't the right color anyway. But we're gonna be putting our sign up here, so it might not matter. In the end? Oh, those kind of look like sneakies. I mean, they kind of do. Can I color you? Paint color 1. Huh. I'd like to see you in the sun, so... I mean, what's paint color 2 look like? I mean, it kinda would... Then it might look weird that it's not over the whole thing. Because if I do the slithering serpents sign over top of this, alright, so let's try this. Maybe we can get this evened out where it won't be all that noticeable. So I'm not really seeing a whole lot of flickers. look too bad on that side either. Okay, so if we let that be there. Grab this. This I just kind of wanna. I mean, that is cute. That I feel like we need to be bumped off of that just a little bit more. So what is that? That's about. It's about 3 divots. Alright, that's 2 divots, so about 2.5 divots? No. It's gonna be tricky. We're gonna have to definitely eyeball it. Okay, well, see, you I think look a little extra off because we haven't put your wood on you yet, so I mean, it's not bad. I'm not sure, like, do we want to put the, I don't think we're gonna have enough room to do slithering serpents, are we? Can we call it Serpentine Way? I guess we can really call it whatever the fuck we want. So, slithering serpents or Serpentine Way. You guys tell me. Alright, I just saw some sort of... Are you flickering or is it just the shadowy things? It might just be shadowy things. Like you're... I mean, there's a little bit of something happening. Right there. It might just be the way the shadow's gonna sit. And there might not be a whole lot we can do about that. Yeah, okay. Alright, so we have to get our wood on here. And here's the thing, though. See, I just thought I saw it again. Where are we being... It's definitely this. There might just not be much we're going to be able to do about that. It might also be the way the sun's filtering through the tree, but you know, if we grab all of these guys and we pull them out a little bit further off the wall here. I mean, we could just bump that up to there. That's also a distinct possibility. Alright. So I have to figure out what's gonna happen with this wall piece over here before we get too far along. I suppose we should have done before we started decorating it. But, you know me, I have to do things half-assed backwards, like, most of the time. So the only thing I didn't grab was the wood beam. And that's okay. Because I need this to come with me. Oh shit. Oh, bedoozles. That could make things a little bit tricky here. So if we put you there like that, but I kind of need you to be back just a little bit. So if we put you there, right, gives us enough room to get some kind of something shoved in there. Then I'm not sure what I want to do here. Now we could, because that's really gonna be kind of super tight in there. Kinda. We could I suppose remove this bump out. So if I put you there, right? So we have to plan how the rest of our walls are gonna fit into here, right? Kind of dumb. We probably should have did the sign before we moved everything, but so if we I've got a little tiny piece of fuzz. Okay, that one was touching my glasses. All right. It's just floating in the air. I'm like, something's definitely touching my upper eyelid now, and it's freaking me out. What the fuck is it? So, I mean, I could probably try to shove something in there at an angle, probably. So if we, why is, oh, okay, let me put you there. I gotta come back and sort this pathway out here, because that looks like I had something else there that didn't get fully dilated. Well, hopefully this takes care of our scenery rating. For our windmill back there, it probably won't. This is probably not close enough to the windmill. Like, at least these specific ones. But it would be nice. Okay, I might see about adjusting some of this pathway. It's not terrible. That gives us some room to do some landscaping out in front. And we don't need a whole lot of landscaping back in here because this is the front off of the pathway there. I hadn't actually... I've gotten stuff into like the perfect position before and I'm like, good! And then I get distracted and I know I could just use the X, but I'd rather do it this way. And I get distracted by something and I'm like, right, duplicate, and I went to go, what the heck was that? That was a juicy sneeze cow cow. My goodness. And then I'll go to move it, and then I move the whole thing and I'm like, shit, I didn't actually okay the placement. Really? Thanks, brain. He never went out for me. He laid back down and went to sleep. I didn't show any signs of wanting to go. So it seems to be a you thing, sir. Momo actually climbed up on the bed on top of me when Russ and I were chilling in bed for a few minutes before he had to go run somewhere, and he's like, hi, I'm here, and I'm like, oh, hi, Momo. Okay, so...
Excuse me, sorry.
If we grab those two pieces of wall, those two bits, do we want that on the outside too? I mean, then our walls are going to be like triple thick. I think I'd rather have that just on the inside. And we can like put signs or decorations and stuff. I think I'm okay with the outside not having those indents, because then the walls are going to be triple thick, and then we're starting to get a little bit silly. Because it's not the Twisted Fortress here. I think I like the flat on the outside. I think I do. Alright, we're gonna duplicate you. And just make sure what all moved with you, because I'm gonna have to adjust this as we go. Let me see here. So if I try to it's a little off, but not by much. Like, it's not terrible, considering we're using this big chunky wall here. Now, I'm still gonna have to come back in and do the wood support there just to even that out, and that's fine. Like, that's okay. Okay, so where is... that gonna set? Alright, so, I mean, well, like I said, we're gonna have the gap there from the wood not being there, and that's alright. We'll get that figured out here. So if I do... Could you, peel those potatoes for me that I put on the counter?
Oh, I didn't even see them. Okay.
I mean, if you're not able to, I'll get them, but...
I got it.
Thank you. I know you don't like me using that thing.
No, I do not.
I've, taken out chunks of my fingernail with the potato peeler before. Or the vegetable peeler. I'm dangerous in the kitchen. Which is amazing that everybody keeps trying to get me to, like, cook stuff. Okay, so if we... try to do... like this... I mean, it's not gonna be super perfect. Because it's me. I'm not quite sure. Did I just, like... I might have just, like, shoved it in. I might have just been like, fuck it, you live here now. Okay, where's my... Might have to do some extra patching with either some wood or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So hypothetically, if I were to do, and I know the pieces are a little off from where they were connected elsewhere. Right. And that's okay. We're gonna come back and we're gonna fix that up here. So we can either do a big chunk of wood there, or we can do a we can do a panel. But if we do the panel, I really want like a 2 by 4. Like, I want it skinny but tall. Cause I mean, it kind of fits, but okay, that's where it is. I'm like, something looks a little askew on this piece here, but oh, okay, that's a little harsh of a connection there. So I mean, it kind of works. It does mean that we're gonna have like a weirdness here with a gap on this though. Are all of these wood pillars flickering? Because I think they are. And then we're gonna have to deal with that. I don't know why you're being extra strange there. Alright, so if I put you there, and then I duplicate you.
Was that someone knocking?
No. Hello? Somebody drove a trailer by and it rattled.
Oh, okay. I heard something that sounded very much like knocking behind my head.
No, somebody, there's a bump out here, and when they take an empty trailer over it, it makes a rattly rattle.
Okay.
I've got the window cracked open a teeny bit. Okay, so...
Oh, it's this fucking game.
Oh. Well, I can't help you there. I can only tell you what I heard, because you asked right at the same time that I heard the noise outside. It's okay, last night I was hearing voices, and I was like, what the fuck? It was like 2:30, 3 a.m. I'm like, why do I hear people talking? Like, I couldn't make out what they were saying. It just sounded like voices, and I'm like, come again? Alright. Is the shadow? No. You are being flickery. Okay, so put you there. It's one bad thing about duplicating the things. Even though I grabbed the already fixed one, for some reason on this one, it's acting like I didn't. And I thought we just fixed you. But you're being... Could also be the way the light's filtering through. Alright, so this guy... Alright, so this is gonna be a little overlappy here, but maybe we can get it a little bit lined up with somebody. So it's not quite so terrible. Let's see. How that does this. Just to kind of... Okay. Now. Are you flickering? You look like it. It could also be these conservation walls. I've found that a lot of the pieces from the conservation pack constantly want to flicker. So I think it's the way the light is playing on them. It might not actually be flickering, but it's just driving me crazy acting like it. Okay. So, let's come into multi. I'm sorry we haven't gotten a whole lot done today. I mean, we're not done yet, but I feel like we've been dicking around with these walls, but it is part of doing the area, so I guess it's not so bad. Just feels like I've not gotten much accomplished so far. Alright, so that works there. Okay, so let me pop you into place there. See, like, you look flickery, but then when I get up on top of you, it's like sun shadows. So it doesn't look bad from that side. This side, though. So this side we might have to... Oh, no. We're good. Okay. And then this. This one could be a little bit more problematic. Well, no, actually, that filled the gap nicely. All things considered. Oven beeped. Sir. Husband? Russell?
What?
The oven beeped?
Oh, thank you.
He's sitting right next to me.
Well, I have my earphones on and I don't pay attention because you talk for non-stop for 3 hours, so...
Well, I gotta talk.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I'm not paying attention.
Silly boy. His headphones are turned up so loud, though. I can vaguely hear them sometimes. I might have to split these two. Oh no. Okay. It's the way that just got adjusted to it, that's all. Okay, so there's that one. And there's that one. Okay, so that's pretty well lined up. Now there's the question of, do we need to take this around the entire outside? Do we want this on top of the wood trim? Or is that gonna look like way too much? I still have to figure out what the hell I'm gonna shove in here. I mean, it's not terrible. We can stick some kind of stuff in here. Where's our last bathroom? Actually. So, I guess the closest bathroom is in the Hippity Hoppity house. And the derpiest frogs ever. That project became quite a beast. So there's one in Hippity Hoppity. Did I put one right here? Okay, and there's one at the forage box. We could potentially shove another bathroom over here. I'll have to see what space looks like when we get that far. Because this guy, he's definitely touching pathway here. They both are. Your senior rating's only at 4% because it's probably just barely picking up that fence that I just kind of dropped there. I don't know if it's picking up any of this. This might be too far away, but you're sitting at 8% scenery, and I don't know. Okay, so you're picking up that. Alright. We'll see if we have room for a bathroom. I have to figure out how we're gonna deal with this. Like, do we just want to do a small... We might leave like the small little fence like this guy to kind of do the inside and just have this massive beast be just on the outside. So here's the question though. So this is temple wall decoration. Alright, I believe this was South America. So we don't have any little guys. I swear the shape looks like it's being weird. So what's this one look like? I mean, it's not the same design. That's for sure. But if we want to do this, we might need to have this weird piece at the ends here. Just to try to like cap off the section. So if we do that, and we redo this. So that is covering the bottom edge there. Okay, every time I try to change your rotation, you go back to the same guess I would kind of need to... Alright, so if we did that... And then this guy. Whoa, too close. Alright, so there's that. Is there the... Okay, yeah, there's kind of the chisel. Okay, it is a little flickery there, but I think that's the tree shadows. Or at least that's what it seems to be. Let's see. Well, you are gonna just be a right pain in the ass, aren't you? Because I can't... Oh, maybe. That does fill you in a bit better, just to cover the gap. And honestly, this is on the back side of the building, and nobody's really gonna see it. So, shh, our secret. Okay, so if we do that, and then this guy put there. I think it does look better with that captor on the top, so... Let's see what we can do about that. Alright. So what's everybody doing this weekend? What are your plans? I need to live vicariously through somebody. Everybody going and doing anything? My broke ass ain't going nowhere. Correction, we might be going to the grocery store. That's about it. That's a big maybe. Husband might be trying to get in some stream time on our Duo Zoo tomorrow night. I think he was saying he might try for 8 p.m. I think. We kind of forgot that he was talking about trying to do RimWorld last night. Because the day had just been a day. As they tend to be. Lately. Alright, can I just get a normal duplicate on you? Thank you. Okay. Alright, that's looking pretty good. At least on this side. At least on this side. Alright, have we figured out what we're calling this? Is it... what the fuck did I say? Slithering Serpents or Serpentine Way? What do we want to do? Slithering's a really long word, though. So is Serpentine. I mean, we could go World of Snakes. Or Snakes of the World. You'd love to give me some vicarious entertainment, but you're basically staying home playing video games and shoveling any snow that falls. Well, hey, you're going outside to shovel snow. Just don't hurt yourself, Tiber. Lots of breaks. Bend from the knees. Pam spray the shovel. Don't overdo it. It's easy to suddenly hurt yourself or have problems with the snow. We didn't get that much snow this year. They were talking snow showers the one day, but the cold air didn't come down quite far enough. No, we had our yearly zoo outing. We went last Monday just to get out of the house and just have like a mental health day and getting ready to deal with the next phase of things, of contacting all of my dad's creditors and trying to explain to them, yeah, we need to know where you're gonna send, or where we need to send this stuff. Like how do you want to do this? Because there's no estate, and I need you to stop charging him interest on these things because it's not gonna get paid, and he's passed away. So how do we want to do this? What do we need to do for you? And some people were really good about it, and some people knew exactly what we needed to do right off the bat. There was no awkward, panicked, I don't fucking know feelings. And one person just ignored Russell entirely and was like, okay, and how much do you want to pay today? And he's like, nothing. I'm the executor of his will. I'm not paying you anything today. I need to know where to send information, what information you want to document that he's passed away. And then they're like, oh. And so it was just, I was like, okay, I don't know. Serpent, how do we even spell this? Slithering. Serpents? Slithering Serpents. That's a long thing. But then World of Snakes is probably WORLDOFSA. No. WORLDOFSNAKE, so 10, 12. 1, 2, SLITHERING. Slithering is 10 on its own. We might be able to get that in there. Maybe. But no, we did do our zoo trip. Got my mom out of the house for a little bit, just so she wasn't just sitting there being overwhelmed with things. You just came in from shoveling snow and you have to take it easy. Okay, good. Good. We don't want anything to happen to you, Tiber. Snow can be brutal, especially up where you are. It just comes down in buckets, doesn't it? Although I would imagine to some degree you're somewhat used to it, living up that way. So... Question is, what color do we want these letters to be? That's the next question. Do we want to just go with classic white? I mean, going green at this point might be a little weird. So, here's the thing. Can we? It needs to be a different color than what we've got going on here. So maybe we do go white just to break it up. So I know the spacing's gonna be funny, so bear with me here, but I'm just trying to get the letters down to see what we have to work with. S L. Yeah, no, we're not doing Dick. By the time we got to the zoo on Monday, because it's a 2-hour drive from us, there wasn't a whole lot happening. Like, there were a couple animals out that we hadn't seen before. Their website was acting like you still had to call or pre-purchase your tickets ahead of time. There were people paying at the gate, and we're like, did they stop doing the reservations and not update the website? Or are they not going to turn money away but do prefer that you do a reservation? Something was weird. Because the one thing I saw was like, oh yeah, there's like 7,000 tickets left. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's not going to be that crowded. And we get there and it's like, holy hell, where did all these people come from? S-I-L. It was so busy for a Monday. And there were so many kids. I'm like, it's like local spring break hasn't started yet, right? Because I know college may have for some schools, but I thought spring break was around Easter. And Easter's not till next month. So I was confused seeing like a bunch of like first graders walking around with their parents, and I'm like, why aren't these kids at school? It was like 11:30 noon when we got there. I'm like, what? What is this? It was very bizarre. And I don't think it's really tourists because it's Tulsa, and I didn't think Tulsa was that big of a tourist hotspot, but maybe it is. How does the zoo you visited compare to the ones you built? The ones I visited are much better. Much better. Much bigger, much more spread out. So you were lucky this year, although you hit average snowfall. It was spaced out with warm spells and didn't pile up too much. Well, that's good. We had a couple pain in the ass snowstorms for here. The worst one was we had a wet snowstorm. We usually get ice, which is 10 times worse, but it was like in November? It was like early November. And I guess for whatever reason, the power companies, because there's 2 that cover our town, just omitted tree maintenance over the summer, I suppose. And we had not even 2 inches of snow on the ground, but it was coming down really wet and heavy. And apparently the power companies really needed to do tree maintenance because it weighed some tree branches down just enough to like touch a transformer or something, and it pissed off that transformer. So that transformer blew. And then for like the next 3 hours, you would like the sky would light up blue. Oh, there goes another transformer. There goes another. I think there was like 6 or 7 transformers that blew in town. And like almost the whole town was dark. I was like, damn. It was bad. And I'm like, it was barely 2 inches of snow on the ground. It might have only been like an inch, really, 1.5 inches. But it was just heavy enough to fuck with everything. And we didn't have power for like 4 hours. I was like, great. Or maybe it was 2. Might have been closer to 2, but it was still a pain in the ass because it was cold and snowing and, you know, no power to run our thermostat to turn it to tell on for the heater because the heat was gas, but we don't have a fireplace that works. It looks like there used to be a fireplace, but anyhow. So, I don't think I actually put the eye in place. So yeah, Tulsa Zoo's not bad. So Tulsa Zoo is one of those zoos where you can see how the zoo has evolved over time. So like if anybody's been to an older zoo that was built during like say the 80s or so, maybe even later than that, when the how to word this, when it was the thing to do where it was like the fake rocks along the back wall that were flat but looked like rocks, and had like the little animal doors cut into them so the animals could go off exhibit. And then it would be like a semicircle of land attached to this animal door for where they would come out. And then it would just be like a steep pit surrounding the semicircle of just sheer walled concrete. And then like a little barrier fence of concrete with like a metal pole to keep the guests from falling into that. They've got part of that zoo like that in the very, very back, which is, I think, probably, it's not very many. I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 5 habitat setups that look like that in the zoo entirely. One was lemurs, which I didn't really understand because I think those fuckers can probably jump that gap if they really want to, because I've seen them run. I think they can do it if they really tried. And there's no netting to keep them from, going too far, which surprised me. But so they've got the lemurs like that. They've got a grizzly bear like that, which was confusing because it looked like there was another grizzly bear habitat, in a different part, but the bear wasn't in that one. I don't know if they've deemed that one too small for him or if it was just a change of scenery for the day. I don't know. It was strange. And then the one next to it was empty, but there was a sign up in front of that one talking about how they're going to be expanding and bringing gorillas into the zoo. I don't know if they're putting them there or if they're redoing that whole section. And then the other 2 remaining habitats were for the lions, which, you know, it just made me feel like old Philadelphia Zoo. From when I was younger, seeing like the big steep concrete pit and then, you know, the little bit of land. So that's like old kind of concerning sized habitats. For the most part, it's not bad. They're definitely a zoo that's constantly doing updates. When we were there last, I guess maybe 2 years ago, they had signs up about, oh, coming soon, you know, something about carnivores of Africa or big cats or whatever. And we were like, oh, okay, they're going to be redoing the cat exhibit. That's great. Except when we went there this time, the same sign was still up. And there wasn't any improvements on that. And Russell and I were like, okay. What happened to the cat update? Because they had talked about it on their website. But on their website, they also were talking about how they were expanding the elephant habitat and going to be calling it some kind of elephant preserve or something. And they were adding X number of acreage to it and making the elephant barn bigger. And guess we're going to be able to walk through the elephant barn and see what goes on in there. And, which was good because the old elephant habitat was tiny. And we had only seen one elephant in there, and we didn't know why they were in there by themselves, considering it was a herd animal, and there was a concerning crack in the one glass of the elephant house that you could walk into that was kind of like head level with the elephant, and Russell and I were always wondering, what happened there? Did they like headbutt the glass or something? Was there an incident? But we never knew what that was about. But they were in full swing construction when we were there. They're like coming sometime this year. Like they had walls up with supports on it, letting the concrete harden and stuff, all kinds of scaffolding, and they were going to town working on that elephant thing. I think they got a grant, and somebody also, I think, did private donations to get that going. Now, I will say, when we were in the gift shop, it's tradition, we usually get a little something from there. When Russell paid, they were like, oh, do you want to round up to this dollar amount to go towards the lion habitat refurbishment? And we were like, okay. And I was like, oh, so that's how they're trying to get the money for the lions. So Russell thought they just said it was for the zoo, or wherever he purchased something earlier. They said, oh, do you just want to, as a donation to the zoo? And he was like, yeah, fine. But this one specifically stated the lion habitat, so maybe it's donations coming in from different parts of the zoo are going towards revamping other parts. I don't know, but I mean, it's some things are a little small, but other things aren't so bad. Although I will say the giraffe habitat looks dwarfed now. That they're revamping the elephant habitat because they were right next to each other. So, I'm sure some bean counter figured that tree maintenance was just a waste of money. Probably. Or, oh, we don't have any people to do that. We'll deal with it when it becomes an issue. Except this time they had to replace, 7 transformers on top of it, and it would have just been cheaper to do the tree maintenance in the end. So, bless you. We might have to Worst comes to worst, we might have to put it up here and spread it out a little bit further. But, I think there was one house we didn't go into. I vaguely remember one section us not going into that we went into before, because we're like, oh, I didn't know this was here, but I don't think we went into it this time. It's a very old twisty zoo, and we were pushing my mom in a wheelchair because she can't do that much walking. And I will say some of the exhibit buildings, I guess we'll call them, were rather difficult to navigate with a wheelchair. Some of them had the little triggers on the doors. One building didn't, and then they had wet paint signs on the door, and I'm like, really? So it was a challenge. She was like leaning forward to push the door open because it's really awkward to back up to get into there. And Russell had gone to find some snackage. I guess maybe we can do slithering here and serpents. We could do that. We could do that totally. Did I already place this? No. Sorry, I'm thinking through things at once. But it's bad enough that the headstone engravers backed up for a year, at least according to the funeral home. And I was like, what? I said to Russell, I said, because when because I was saying to him, I was like, you know, we're probably gonna have to pay a fee for the engraver to come out and put his passing date on there. And Russell's like, no, I think that's already been paid for. I was like, no, they paid for the original engraving. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to pay again for them to come out and do the final date on there. And we did, and Russell said, well, the guy at the funeral home said that for reasons, and he didn't seem real happy about it, for reasons the engravers backed up about a year. And I'm like, excuse me? Are there that many people that passed away in this area over the course of the last year that they're backed up a year? I looked at Russell and I'm just like, what do you mean they're backed up a year to come out and engrave headstones? I don't understand. What? That can't be right. I was like, why? Someone needs to tell me the reasoning behind this because I don't understand. Apparently, you name it, that was their excuse. The guy said, well, at one point they were saying they didn't have enough people. Another point they were saying they were waiting on parts for their drill bits that needed to be replaced. And I'm just like, are really? Because if my business is engraving headstones, I'm gonna make sure I have extra drill bits so shit gets done. We're gonna have a surplus extra of that stuff. Because, you know, you're in a business that deals with people grieving, and it's not cool to fuck around with that and prolong and drag out problems such as this. And I'm just like, you've got... So we have no idea when they're gonna get around to putting the date on his headstone. None. I think didn't you say the dude at the funeral home said if it got to be like 6 months he was gonna try to find somebody else?
I don't remember that.
Oh, I thought, or if he could find somebody else, he would, but he's like the only dude in the area or something. I don't remember. I'm just like, fucking kidding me.
I don't remember any of that either, to be honest.
Oh, I thought you had said something about that he was going on, about he wasn't happy about this guy either.
He wasn't happy, but there's not much. He said there's not much he can do about it.
Alright. I thought you'd said if it got to be a certain point that... I don't know if he's gonna call him and be like, what the hell, or... So we don't know. It's just gonna end up, I guess, being there when it gets there. I don't know. Not a lot of... Yeah, I mean... Maybe? I don't know. I mean... I actually don't know how many cemeteries are in the area either, because we didn't grow up here, so... Like, I know back in Jersey there were several. Some more like country bumpkin cemeteries, and others that were like super stuffy and strict and pretentious. Because my parents had originally gotten a plot at the place, a double plot at the place that was near the airport back in Jersey, because my mom wanted to be near the planes taking off. And, like, she would see them. And, there were, and it's where my grandparents were buried, but apparently there's sections out there where you can only have a specific headstone color in that section. Like, right. And then they can only be a certain heights and things, and I'm like, really? And you can only put certain things on the headstones and or on the graves, and if you don't come and retrieve the item by X amount of time, they're gonna throw it out, and I'm just like, wow. And then there's like the country bumpkin cemetery, which is all I can really call it. It's not really hillbilly, I'm just gonna call it country bumpkin, which is where my dad ended up getting a new cemetery plot down here, and he sold the other one to, I think, his brother up in New Jersey. And down here at the local cemetery in town, I hadn't really been to it before. We had drove by it, and there was like really old headstones in there, like so old you couldn't really read a lot of the engraving on it. Like old stone, old marble, very weather worn, like 1905 and before, kind of old, because we're in a like Civil War battle area and stuff. And apparently further back, where there's people that still have family that comes and visits and things, which you don't really see from the road very well. Apparently it's anything goes. So there's little tiny you know the thing, like little tiny plant hooks like that come up to your knee. People have got those stuck in. They've got, one person had like 5 or 6 wind chimes all over their grave. Somebody else had the grave plots outlined in solar lights. I'm just like, wow. Like, somebody had this huge obnoxious thing that had bird spikes on it so that birds couldn't sit on there, I guess, and poop. I was just kind of mystified by all of the things that were very weather worn, and I'm just like, okay, so they don't give a shit. Put what you want. I mean, they might have to move it to do like to cut the grass and stuff, maybe, unless they just weed whack it, which is entirely possible. But I was just like, wow. Right. Okay. It was just very, very different. Very different. Okay, I need you. Okay, so this one, I don't know how to space this word yet, so we might be making some adjustments to this one as we get it on here. But yeah, it was really quite different. I will say, quite different. Like, I was kind of because you know, there's some punk ass kids, as more people have moved into this area, that have started like vandalizing the skate park and stuff multiple times now. And so they were talking about wanting to put this metal car that we had gotten my dad at one point, that I was like, somebody's gonna steal that, I can tell you that right now. And I didn't want it to rust, so we did something else with it. But my mom like bought a Matchbox car and she put it up there. She goes, oh, the car's still there. But I'm like, well, the rain didn't get it yet. I imagine it won't be long before the rain gets it, but it's just like, okay. We had gotten my dad a couple of model cars for Christmas, or my mom had gotten them. We kind of went in together with them. And S-E-R. Sorry, I'm trying to letter and talk at the same time, and dyslexic brain doesn't always appreciate that, so sorry for the awkward pauses and the ums. So he never had the chance to work on them. S-E-R-P. So Russell's gonna work on putting them together to put up there, because these ones are just plastic models. They should be able to handle the weather without too much trouble. So that way, you know, they don't go to waste. And the only other thing we could do with them would be to donate them. I don't think we told my mom yet that we're gonna do that, but I think Russell just kind of took the stuff to put them together and just kind of vanished with it. But we took up some of our garden lights that we bought from the set that we got from Sam's a couple years ago. Because apparently they got a couple at Dollar General, and they had gone up to check on them, and they were so dim. I'm like, well, yeah, because you got dippy ones from Dollar General. I was like, do we need to abscond with a couple of ours? Because, I mean, we don't have the fire pit out back anymore, so it's not like we really need them to see to get back out there. He goes, yeah, I was gonna say, we might as well. So if we put some lights up there... I mean, it's real shadowy, but... I mean, that's not terrible. That kind of works. It doesn't look like it's spelled right because it's all in caps, but I spelled it out and Google didn't correct me, so S-E-R-P-E-N-T-S. Okay. Though I think I want to adjust slithering a little bit more. Not too much more, but a little. That's a little bit better. Okay. So we've got that. I'm gonna worry about lighting later. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Maybe I'll just put exit up there or something in smaller letters. So I need all of this. Let's see how distracted I got. I still need to put that wall piece in to connect those other two. Let's see if we can get this to work. Which may or may not. Happen. Okay, so we're on a slate. Slightly different angle here. Hopefully I don't have to readjust every letter.